This is iRacing, the world's premier online racing game. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat to experience today's newest form of competitive motorsport, virtual racing, all from your home PC. Race virtually in indoor series from NASCAR, IndyCar, IMSA, the World of Outlaws, Aussie Supercars and more. Take on legendary circuits like Daytona, Silverstone and the Nürburgring. Join iRacing's global online racing community and get on track today at iRacing.com.
Canned fish, hot dish or shish kebab. Whatever your snack and whichever your beverage, I hope you got them with you cause it's time for 4-Drink Friday. And you'll see it all live here on the Global Sim Racing Channel. Hi, I'm Ossian Puhakka, but you can call me Ossi. And with me in the booth is a man who can run 200 meters in 19 minutes and 32 seconds, Michael Johnson. Behind the scenes is our director, Jack Johnson, and he's using cameras provided by Dougie Beard. As the intro implies, we come to the good old stomping grounds, USA Speedway. I'm sure many of you are familiar with this place, but for those who ain't, and the ones who'd like a reminder, let's head to our track guide.
Welcome to Lakeland, Florida. While the actual USA International Speedway is no longer with us in the real world, the track had a distinguished history, albeit short. The modern track we know of opened in 1995. The track saw its final race in 2008 before being torn down in 2012. In those 13 years, though, many regional series across the southeast U.S. and a few national series made stops. ARCA, ASA Late Models, NASCAR Southeast, and Cars Pro Cup all made visits here. The 3/4-mile long track features long straightaways and tighter corners, but those tighter corners are banked at 14 degrees, so you can build up quite a bit of speed here. This is part of the reason this track, the other being proximity to Daytona, was a popular spot for NASCAR Cup, Grand National, and truck teams to make testing stops here before NASCAR's ban on testing. While today a warehouse may encompass parts of where the track used to be, it's forever saved in the virtual world here on iRacing, so strap in for what's sure to be a wild race at USA International Speedway.
So that is the track for today, and the machinery is straight from Days of Thunder. Michael, what can you tell us about this combination?
Well, this is going to be an interesting one. Taking a look at the track, this is a shorter track. It's only 3/4 of a mile, 1.21 kilometers, with a 14-degree banking around the turns. The track temperature today is kind of cool. It's in the evening. We've got a 73-degree Fahrenheit track temperature, and that's going to make for a little better grip going around these corners for this 40-minute race. So we're finishing up qualifying now, last half or so. And looks like the guys are having a lot of fun out there. I think some of them may have gotten started already on their drinking, but hey, that's not against the rules.
No, and we'll go over that later, I'm sure. But first, let's thank our sponsors for this series. Sunset Mortgage. Don't put your money in the bank, beat the bank. Check them out today at sunsetcash.net. And also, Octavio Tequila. Celebrate now for a great tasting tequila. Go to octaviotequila.com and purchase today. And last but not least, Century Financial Consultants, making the rest of your life the best of your life. You can check out their website at centuryretire.com. And please make sure, if you would like to join this series, we got the link and the Discord links in the description below. So make sure to check them out and make sure that you don't miss out on the 4 Drink Fridays. But now we are going on with the qualifying, Michael. And just for a reminder, why don't you give us a bit of a refreshing taste of what this series is all about?
Well, so it's a bit of fun. It being a simulated series, of course, we never want to promote drinking and driving, but here everything's simulated. The track's simulated, the car's simulated. Well, maybe not everything, because the drinking is real. And these guys are really good at that part as well as the driving. It's amazing to watch how good they are when they get out there, a couple of beers under their belt, and start running the cars around. I guess talent just kind of keeps following them wherever they go, whether their beer's in their belly or not.
Yeah, and it's always fun to see, and it's always great to see a bit of fun had as well, because sim racing, oh boy, it's serious these days. We were actually talking about it with Michael before the broadcast started about how serious it is today. So these days in the World Championship level, as well as everywhere, as we got about 10 minutes left in our qualifying today, and it is Kip Mitchell in the lead ahead of Cory Lotfellow. So Kip Mitchell, and he is one of the favorites for today, would you say?
Yeah, Kip is a very, very experienced racer when it comes to these ovals. He raced in the last oval race that was in 4 Drink Friday, and he led the majority of the race. There was a very unfortunate incident right at the end, I think, that took him out, but I had him pegged for the win all along. Another really bright shining star here is someone who's not normally an oval racer, but Cory Lotfellow. Now, I know Cory well because I race with him and several of these guys in the Porsche Owners Club series. Now, Cory has just a knack. He can watch what's going on. He can see just these little things, these little tweaks that people do, and he can emulate it beautifully. So I wouldn't put Cory out to be the overall winner of this. It's kind of flip a coin for me between Kip and Cory on that one.
I wonder if there's a distant relation between Cory and the owner of Toyota's, well, the team boss of Toyota's WRC team, Jari-Matti Latvala, who is, I think, the most experienced WRC driver of all time. And knack for driving, maybe it runs in the blood.
Well, I think they're actually brothers.
Oh,
not really. No.
that would make sense in some ways. That would be also quite a thing to keep under the wraps. Still, Kip Mitchell in the lead, Latvala in the second place, and we got Michael Bolton in third place as well. And we got some tight times there on the board. So 22.357 is the leading time currently, and we are just half a tenth behind with Latvala's time. So it's looking to be a tight race. Now, what I wish we had in this series, Michael, would be not only the 4 Drinks Friday, but also the 7 a.m. wake up on the Saturday after, and that's the second part of the race.
That's the hardest part of this race, is waking up the next morning, because after this race, there's usually a, hey, let's practice for what we think we want to do next. And then they all go out and continue to drink. And then, oh, hey, looks like Cory just kind of kipped Kip with a 22.222.
Wow.
I like the lap time. I hope nobody beats that. I want 22.222 to be the best time that we've got. That just there's a symmetry to that that's beautiful.
It is beautiful, and it's almost as beautiful as that Tide ride he's rocking out there today. A legendary livery from, as we said earlier, the Days of Thunder, what some call the heyday of NASCAR. So popular it even made its way over the Atlantic. Speaking of Saturday mornings, there's a little bit of a tradition, a Saturday morning drink that I won't go too much into details of, but in Finland we have this thing called plöre. Now, plöre is where you put a coin, usually a penny, on the bottom of a coffee cup, and then you pour enough coffee into it so that you completely cover the coin, so that you can't see the coin anymore. And then you pour enough clear adult beverage over it until you can see the coin again. And that's the way to get the Saturday started. Just a hot tip for you all.
I'm going to be doing that probably with some Octavio tequila, I would guess, tomorrow morning.
That works. That would work pretty well indeed. Yeah, Cory Lotfellow's time though, that's very satisfying. That's one of the most satisfying qualifying times I've seen. Sometimes you see like triple digits, like 2.222 or something, but almost never do you see an actual single digit, like only one number on the qualifying time. That's so rare, especially with the road courses that I'm usually covering being 1 minute something. It's almost impossible unless you get a 1:11.111 or something, but that's quite something. And but Kip Mitchell, I think he might be the one man to beat it if he's so inclined to do. Although, I wonder, Michael, if some of the drivers are taking a strategy to this race so that you have the pit stops that you have to make, the drinking pit stops, so to speak. If some people have started a little bit earlier and some people maybe a little bit later. So we'll see varying performance throughout the race.
Yeah, there are a couple of different strategies people like to use. I see people starting off with immediately parking the car, taking their 4 drinks, and then rolling and trying to go the whole race with the impending doom of all 4 of those drinks hitting. I've also seen, well, there are probably 3 really good ways to do it. Go until somebody hits you, take a drink. Go until somebody hits you, take it. You're definitely getting hit 4 times because everybody's drinking. So you're without a doubt getting hit at least 4 times. And then there's the method of let me try to stay clean all the way to the end. And once I get there, stop short, just slam the 4, and then try to make it to the finish line before any of it comes back up.
The one thing, the other thing this series lacks, alongside the Saturday morning second heat, when everybody's a little bit wobbly and everybody's a little bit shaky from the previous evening, is also the camera feed. So we could actually make sure the drivers are doing it, because that would be so glorious if somebody had the strategy of essentially having those 4 drinks at the same time. I can't remember the name of the device, but I'm sure there's devices where you can pour a lot of liquid into one end and then it's narrower on the other end. So,
oh yeah, the funnel. So these are very well known through the college campuses and the fraternity houses in the United States. It's kind of a sport in itself, where you can get the really super long tube on the end of that funnel. Someone gets on the roof of the building and pours it all down, and you end up really wearing most of it, but it's still a valid attempt there, I think.
I kinda like that. Oh, wow.
Look at that time. We've got a Michael Bolton out there who's just really ripping it up with a 20.981.
Oh,
that's over 1 second. That's 1.2 seconds faster than our magic time. So sorry, Cory. I was really pulling for you through this one. I thought you had it well done, but Michael Bolton brought one out of nowhere, and
I know where he brought it from.
Time. Where?
The Tony Hawk Pro Skater guidebook. I think he was using this a little bit of a trick. It wasn't a kickflip. It certainly wasn't the 900, but I think he may have pulled out the wall ride.
That could be. I see Kip Mitchell. Looks like Kip Mitchell is trying the wall ride right now.
Yeah, so things are getting very interesting indeed here. Alternative strategies. Now, if I would have been Michael Bolton, I would have waited 2 more minutes or 3 more minutes to pull it out. You pulled it out on the last lap, not with a couple of minutes to go, so that people can see what you did and then try to copy it, essentially. But this has gotten interesting, and I think this is one of those things where, sure, you can get the fastest time that way, essentially, if you're willing to go down that level, but you also open yourself up to some interesting opportunities throughout the race, because I'm sure that these other drivers out there on the field, these 8 other drivers, will not be happy what he did.
No, so we've got a little interesting, so there's another strategy to play here. And I think this might be what Nick Balsbaugh is doing. Nick, in the number 9 car, the Mountain Dew car, Nick's a good driver. Nick's a very good driver. I've seen him also in this league pull out some pretty amazing moves, and I think he's trying to hang back and kind of watch what's going on, and then he's going to wait for the the interesting start, shall we say,
Yes.
for a chance to just kind of work his way through the twisted bits of metal and maybe get a lap before any of those other cars can figure out which way the track is supposed to go.
So what you're saying is that he may be getting the drinking portion out of the way early on, and then just calmly wait in the back of the field as the excrement hits the cooling device.
Yeah, which again is going to be lap 1, turn 1, maybe turn 2 if we're lucky.
So I think there is a good reason why in the notes I have in front of me right now, we usually have the danger zones marked out on different circuits, like you might have. For example, in Road America, you have turn 5 as one of the legendary danger zones, the tight left-hander, and you have the
With that downhill, oh yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
Laguna Seca, big danger zone, familiar with. Here, with, let's see, seven of these people drinking, I think we're going to have to call the entire track a danger zone, not just the passing zones. Our general passing zones, of course, I mean, everybody's going to be familiar with those, but I think everywhere we go around here, it's going to be a danger zone.
Yes, it is. And it's maybe a highway to the danger zone as well. Wrong movie.
Wrong movie. Different song. Close. I liked it though. Oh, nice spin. That was
Wow.
So tied in the spin cycle. Keeping it clean though. That was good.
Yeah, got the spin cycle and got the clean laundry out of the way, but there might be some dirty laundry to air after what people saw, what we saw in qualifying, because it's time to check out the qualifying results. And on the pole position, we do have car number 10, Michael Bolton, with an earth-shattering time of 20.981. Alongside with him on the front row, it will be Corey Lotfellow. Kip Mitchell starting out in third place on the second row. Alongside him will be Ben Schott. Matthew Hollander will be fifth. John Momeyer sixth. Then it's Aaron Edwards, Michael Ost, and Nick Bolsball. Rounding out the field, but as we said, Michael, it might be a strategy.
Yeah, it could be a strategy. Now, folks will notice that on some of these drivers, you'll see a DD in front of their name. That means they are a designated driver. The designated driver in this case is not required to drink. Now, required is the word that you really need to pay attention to there. Doesn't mean they can't drink. It just means they're not required to. So it's possible that maybe Mo Meyer or Corey Lotfellow are out there having only 3 drinks or maybe 7, but they are the designated driver and they are not held to the drinking rule. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on in the race with our designated drivers against our shall we call them sports heroes?
Yes, the sports heroes. So where does that DD come from them? Does it like rotate from race to race?
I think it just depends on the driver themselves. So some races maybe like say for example I was driving in the race but I had to be on the real track tomorrow morning. The FIA says I, as a professional driver, have to have a 12-hour bottle to throttle limit. So if I'm racing and I'm on track, let's say for qualifying at 8 o'clock in the morning, I would have to be done actually drinking any alcohol by 8 p.m. the night before. So I would put myself in a DD situation there. There are other people who just don't feel like drinking, or maybe they have some sort of a prescription that they're not supposed to have alcohol with or something. So for a multitude of reasons, people will choose to be a designated driver.
Yeah, okay, so it's essentially a courtesy thing, and I appreciate that. I can appreciate that totally, that it doesn't require you to drink, but either way, we are on the pace lap, and the pace car will peel out of the way in short time, and then we'll begin 40 minutes of racing. Michael Bolton, will he bolt out of there nice and early? Yes, he will. The green flag flies, and Kori Latvala will be challenging him heading into turn number 1. And Latvala actually gets the better start, and he will be leading into 1 with Kip Mitchell alongside him. Then behind him is Michael Bolton and Ben Shout, who is going for a very wide line, but can't quite pull that move off. Behind them, it's too wide between Shout and Hollander, who is pulling a very good strat. And oh, on the high line, look at Michael Bolton. He is pulling out that wall ride, but he is also damaging his car very much, and we'll have to wait and see for how long can he pull that off for.
I wouldn't worry too much about the damage here, though. The damage is not going to be a problem because damage is turned off here, which with the new iRacing model just means that there's a period in which, looks like we've got a spinner. Number 69, Matt Hollander going off to, nope, sorry, that was number 26, who is, no, it is Hollander. He just always using the Wonder Bread car. Of course he is. Love that Wonder Bread car.
What is Wonder Bread anyway?
It is, it's plain white bread. It's kind of the bread that Middle America grew up with, or even most of the United States grew up with. If you're used to European breads, you would not call this bread. But if you grew up on this and you had normal European style bread, you wouldn't know what you were putting in your mouth because it's too thick, it's too heavy. This is a very light white bread that's great for sandwiches. I think the most famous thing made with it would probably be a grilled cheese.
Okay, so it's basically, well, I from that description, I think I prefer liquid bread. Thank you very much. As we still have Bolton in the lead, Latvala in second place, and Mitchell rounding out the top trio. But of course, it is by far from over yet. We have 40 minutes of racing and 38 of them still yet. Interesting to see that the damage is turned off, because from where I was looking at first that the cars were receiving damage, but that might have been my eyes playing tricks on me, as Aaron Edwards now picks up the fastest lap of the race. And that's a 20.3. That's 6/10 of a second faster than they were in qualifying.
That's pretty quick. They are turning some fast times, but I think, that's Edwards. A rough hit. That looks like Edwards there, trying to pull it out of the grass. Come on, Aaron, you can do it. There we go. He gets back rolling. The car slowly heals itself. Looks like we also have John Momeyer, who has gone off, backing into the wall. I think there he comes. Filing it. Now, John, you may not be able to tell, but he is a designated driver for this race.
Yeah, and he's also got a great livery.
I think the cows are enjoying the view. If we get a little closer shot on the back of that, you'll see what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, they certainly are. I would be too, and it's the one day I would like to be a cow, or quite possibly a male cow, which is called a bull, I believe.
That it is.
No.
4 wheels off the ground on that one. Like I was saying, I see how the nose popped out there. So yeah, the healing is on. The damage healing is definitely on. His nose popped right back out like Pinocchio.
Okay, so my eyes weren't playing tricks on me, and they actually do heal the damage, but they do initially receive it at first. As we have Kori Latvala around as well. From the second place, it is Latvala around, and he's gonna get hit hard by Matthew Hollander. And Michael Bolton, the race leader, just got away from that. I hope we get a second view of that later on, because Michael Bolton, he got so lucky. It could have been a total disaster for him, but instead, he just carries on like nothing happened. There we go.
Let's take a look at this again as he comes in the corner here, gets a little bit, a whole lot sideways. This is a beautiful drift, then just doesn't quite come out of it. Squeaks through. Oh my, pointed in the wrong direction. 2 guys trying the wall ride, and well, it normally works, just didn't quite work the way they wanted this time.
No, not at all. Meanwhile, Michael Bolton has perfected his strategy, still in the lead. And we are watching the number 4 car, who is Aaron Edwards, also doing very well alongside the wall. And he's even hopping that right front wheel up on the exit of the corner. So he's been able to carry a lot of speed through those banked corners, as is the number 2. who is Kip Mitchell in the second place. And here we have Ben Shout's take on the wall ride as well. So it's gone into a bit of a sport of wall riding right now. Oh no! Oh no! He flew too close to the sun.
Oh! It looks like. Oh, and let's come on! You can do it! You can do it! Ow! Oh!
Oh man!
And I gotta say, for Aaron, that was just a beautiful crash. I
Yes.
enjoyed it. I'm glad I wasn't in the car for that one because I normally wear VR, and if you're drinking in VR and you spin that many times, I'm certain that's not going to be a happy experience.
Oh no! Are any of these drivers actually using VR?
Could be. I know Corey Lotfellow had VR. I'm pretty sure he still uses it. I'm trying to think who else might have it. But yeah, some of them do use VR. Oh, what do we have going on there? There's something happening, looks like.
Yeah, well, we have one car, Aaron Edwards, against the wall once again, and then he's spinning around onto the main straight, and there was Corey Lotfellow as well, who was parked to the side of the road, and I believe he might be taking his first drink of the race.
That looks like a stop for a drink. Looks like Corey is actually disconnected. He may be having internet issues. We'll see if Corey comes back. Hopefully he does, because he was doing quite well. I was having a good time watching him.
Yeah, it's a shame if he has to give up the race this early on, but I don't know, maybe his drinking strategy was too quick and he decided to call it a day. Either way, we start to see cars on two wheels now. That's John Momeyer, who's being bumped back around, and he's being hit by Hollander. That Wonder Bread car is turning the Moo car, the cow car, even wider. And now Momeyer is around at the back straight. Don't go too far back. There's Aaron Edwards, who is just able to avoid a disaster. But I think what is happening here, as I said earlier, Michael, these drivers might be flying too close to the sun now. They're getting too much speed alongside that wall, and they're getting up on two wheels.
Well, the sun is pretty hot, and with all that alcohol in their system,
Oh, yes.
Heat and alcohol generally don't work well together. I do a lot of cooking, and like if I pour some brandy into the pan and then give it a little tilt, there's a big flame that comes out of there. That could be what we have going on here, is getting that close to the sun. I mean, look, there's sparks coming off the cars right now as we see Ben Shout running around up on two wheels. And I think Ben may have found the magic. Let's see if he can do this again. Brings it up, runs it around. Oh my goodness. Oh, we have to, looks like caution here.
Ben did not spin. He was hit in the back by Momeyer, and he did not spin after that two-wheel drift. And now we have a lot of cars around on the main straight as well. We have the number 4 of Edwards as well, Aaron Edwards, who had a bit of a tumble through there. And as said, we are under yellow flag conditions, so we are under caution. And it's a good time to actually go and grab yourself a refresher as well, if you are watching and of legal drinking age, of course. And time to perhaps recap what we've seen throughout the first 8.5 minutes of this race, because it's been righteously chaotic, I think.
Chaotic is a good word. It's I think the words we really want to use, we can't use in the broadcast because we are a polite group.
Michael.
Yep.
I have testing.
You have?
This wonderful... a beep. Yeah. So we can actually say them. We just have to them out.
Aha. Okay. Well, I'll try to hold it because I haven't been drinking enough anyway.
Fair enough.
Let me have a few more beers, and maybe I could get into that.
Oh yes. It's that part of the night when you're gonna be after the first one. I promise I won't be talking about the state of this series or whatever. And after 4 or 5 or 6, it's gonna be a rant basically. 10 minutes of unfiltered Michael Johnson will be the after party to this race. No?
No, I'm actually going to be laughing, and I might go join them in the post-race race.
Oh, the post-race race. So that's going to be the real main event of the evening, or is this going to be the one where people are not going to have the pressure of a broadcast?
It'll be without the pressure of a broadcast, and there's no requirement for 4 drinks. Also, no limit to 4 drinks because you've already started there, and well, it'll be interesting to see where they go. Now, I did notice that
Places.
that they were only supposed to do 1 lap, I thought, for the full course yellow, but that may take effect on the next full course yellow. But I expect we'll be seeing that stop fairly soon. We've got a number of waiver rounds that are going on here. Nick Ballsbaugh was waved around. Looks like several people got waved around trying to get people closer. This actually may not be a full course for any type of crashing, rather more of a competition caution to get people closer together to make the racing a little more exciting, since everyone will be more or less on the same lap.
Yes, and I think also we had a black flag for Michael Bolton from the race control as well, so he's going to be having to serve a penalty, and I guess that is to bring him a little bit more in order with rest of the car. So that's why he is not on the queue right now, but rather he is long ways behind it. I guess he's waiting for the cars to pass him, which is indeed what's happening.
It'll be interesting to see. Oh, looks like Kip Mitchell's taking a drink right now. Michael Bolton, I think, has taken 2, if I read what he's put into the text there correctly. It would be really interesting to have an ear in right now onto their Discord channel to kind of see what they're all talking about.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go for the restart.
Yep, Kip Mitchell taking the restart, and he's actually scoring in the 2nd place right now, but Bolton is on the side of the road. Bolton is actually waiting for them, so it will be Kip Mitchell indeed taking the lead. And on the 2nd place, we have Matthew Hollander, who is still driving that wondrous Wonderbread car, trying to give chase to Kip Mitchell, and so far so good. They are not wall riding. I think Aaron Edwards further in the background is trying to catch up to the back, but otherwise they are actually trying to race this racetrack, and I think this is a positive development.
Yeah, there may have been some discussion about, hey guys, the wall riding is getting a little crazy. I was enjoying it personally. I thought it was a hoot to watch that go on, but maybe they decided to do a little less wall riding and a little more racing, diving down into turn 1, turn 3 to try to make some passes. Now, remember at the beginning of the broadcast, I was saying how Nick Ballsbaugh was hanging back there. He qualified last. He was way back. He's up in 3rd place right now, although he is doing a wall ride. So maybe I'm not right about that wall ride thought.
Maybe it could be one of those things like we have week 13 folk races in Finland, so to speak, as we have a good fight for the lead. I'll get back to that anecdote later. Hollander was looking to the inside. Kip Mitchell still able to hold on to that lead, but yeah, I'm theorizing. Oh, and we have a spinner in front of the field as well. That's Momeyer, who is thankfully getting out of the way, and I only now realized how appropriate it is for Momeyer to have a cow car, as we have now a trio fighting for the lead. Bolton getting to the inside of Hollander and spins the Wonderbread around.
Ooh, now we've got Ballsbaugh moves right back into 3rd place with Hollander's spin there, and it looks like Bolton's trying to close up the gap to Kip Mitchell. But Kip is a really experienced guy out here. Let's see what happens if he can hold that lead.
Yeah, and what I was trying to say, Michael, earlier is, and as Aaron Edwards is actually doing a wall ride further in the back, I'm thinking they're allowing the wall riding if you're not in the lead pack or leading. That might be a way to keep the field closer together.
Oh, and that was a nice attempt at a drift going around, what was that, 3 and 4?
Oh.
Right there. Oh, came back around. Oh, no. Now he's pointed in the wrong direction, spinning it around. Oh, in front of the leaders, too. Come on, Aaron, get back into it. I think you got this.
Yeah, I think he might have this, and Bolton is bolting it into the wall as we are watching further back. and now we are to the leaders. Yeah, it's Kip Mitchell and Michael Bolton, and they are getting closer and closer to each other, with Michael Bolton being one of those guys who's just driving on the edge all the time in that number 86 machine of his, and Kip Mitchell just ahead of him is keeping it far tidier. So I think, Michael, from your experience as Owen, we have a spinner once again. That's number 9. That's Nick Boswell, sadly, who is around from 4th place.
I still wouldn't count Nick out. He's still got 20, almost 25 minutes to go to the end of the race. I think Nick's got some talent, and he can work his way back up to the front, especially if we get another competition caution.
Yep. Oh, and that's very close. And that's actually Michael Bolton. Bolton to the lead now, taking the lead in his number 10/number 86 machine. It's hard to tell which one it is, but let's call it 86 for simplicity's sake, because that's the number painted on the side of his car. And drifting nicely around 1 and 2 with Kip Mitchell trying to give chase, trying to get that inside line. Interesting difference between the drivers, because as I was trying to mention earlier, Kip Mitchell is trying to keep it far tidier, whereas Michael Bolton is really just having a hoot. And why wouldn't he have a hoot? Because after all, this is oval racing.
Well, I think we may have thought Michael Bolton was doing the wall ride to get that amazing lap time, but who knows, he might have actually pulled a beautiful drift going around the oval portion here. It's only a 14-degree banking here, so you could get a good drift going and be able to maintain all the way around and possibly just nail it perfectly and get a good time. I didn't see his qualifying. I just saw the time go. Oh, looks like Aaron has gone around again. Aaron Edwards in the number 4 Miller Genuine Draft car.
Yeah, that's gonna give some genuine draft from his side windows, the way he was spinning around. Maybe also going for those Tony Hawk tricks, but not the wall ride this time around. Still able to keep going though, even if he is 5 laps behind. 23 minutes still left in this race, and we do have Bolton leading, and we do have Aaron Edwards actually going around him doing the wall ride, but that's all right. He is 4 laps behind now. Oh, and look at Bolton.
Bolton's getting a little bit wiggly out there. It may be time to come in and get some tires here sometime soon.
Yeah, no kidding. He is very much wiggling around on the racetrack, so gonna be very interesting to see how that develops. Maybe he's just trying to put in a bit of a show for us viewers, as we have the Miller car back against the wall, not putting on a race perhaps he would want, and we have Bolton back to the wall riding ways. So interesting how that changes. Maybe he's trying to put in the fastest lap race, or maybe he's deciding that nope, I had enough of these tires, I'm just gonna ride the wall and then turn it in nice and easy through 3 and 4 again. So he's experimenting.
Now, if we take a look, Kip Mitchell has gone back. He's almost 7 seconds back now. He is really babying that car around. And if you look in the background there, you see the Wonder Bread car with Matt Hollander driving. He's also having some trouble. I think these guys are kind of blistering their tires here with trying to push it just a little bit too hard. It may be time to see a round of pit stops, as it looks like Kip Mitchell is going to try to dip in. Yep, there he goes into pit lane. I'm thinking it's time for some tires.
Yeah, I'm thinking so too. They have been punishing these tires, not only with the high corner speed, but also the wall ride, come to think of it. And we have the caution flag once again, as Kip Mitchell is in the pit lane now. What do the rules say about that? I think he is allowed to exit his pit stall because he made it to the pit lane before the caution came out, right?
I believe so. He's going to have to watch for the pit exit to be open, though. And I believe it's going to stay open at least until the leader comes around. So if he can get these tires changed, which I don't think he's going to make it, he may have to wait. Now, in this series, sometimes, well, there he goes. He's pulling out of the, pulling out. Looks like he's getting into it. If he gets a black flag, a lot of times in this series, it's just, well, let's just clear it, because, you know, we're just out here goofing around, having a lot of fun anyway. So I don't know that he'll actually get a black flag for that. It looks like more people are coming in for tires, though. Tires is the name of the game right now as we watch Michael Bolton come in. and watch the trailers behind him. There we go. Michael Bolton up on the right side, getting those right side tires. And he will be back out. He is technically still in the lead, although Ben Schout just went around. Looks like Hollander is now in the lead.
I think it's Mitchell. He's the first car behind the pace car, but that might be needing to update.
There we go. Now I'm showing Hollander in first. Nick Ballsbaugh is in second.
Oh yeah, because it's Mitchell's a lap behind. Correct.
That's what we got, yeah, because Kip had gone in for tires a little bit earlier. Let's see if they give him... actually, Kip also had a drink. So, now we have Aaron playing Ghost Machine with the pace car.
Yeah, that's always a fun little game. Aaron Edwards and Kip Mitchell got a wave around the pace car as well, so they'll be joining the end of the longest line, which is also, incidentally, the only line out here on the track. A line which consists of 8 race cars at this moment in time, actually 7 race cars still left in this event. So, gonna be very interesting how they fare in the latter portion of this race. Now, Michael, as they are driving behind the pace car, and as we still have at least 2 laps to go, one more after this because the lights haven't gone off. Interesting question, because you have a lot of experience with race cars and racing, and you know, not only the racing side of it, but also, I guess, somewhat the physics side of it, the physical side of racing as well. What do you think are the forces, and how severe are the forces going through the tires when you are pulling off a wall ride like that? Because I can imagine those right side tires are taking quite a beating, not only in terms of temps, but also in terms of their sidewall.
Well, it's nothing I've actually tested. To be completely clear. Yeah. I probably wouldn't be able to sit here and talk to you about it. I don't think I'd be able to speak. But I would guess the temperatures with those right side tires. Oh, that was an interesting spin. Mo Meyer's going around, but pulls it back. Is he going to pass the pace car? There he goes, right back around. So anyway, back to it. I think the temperatures that you would build up just on the sidewall would be pretty immense. The sidewall isn't really designed to have that direct temperature on it. So I think you're going to need to have some kind of protection against that. But oh, here we go. Time for the restart. And we are back to green. Ben Schout in the lead. Michael Bolton just behind him, looking up the inside, going into turn 1 with... Oh, looks like Kip Mitchell going around the inside, and around the outside on the wall ride is Aaron Edwards. All right, good job, Aaron. Oh, no, got slowed down. It looks like we've got number 7, Ben Schout, coming back around, trying to take the lead. Aaron is still 4 laps down, but that was a really nice attempt to get back another lap.
They were momentarily 4 wide, I think, exiting number 2 here. And Mitchell hits Schout right for the lead. Mitchell hits Schout right for the lead, and that's gonna toss Bolton right back in the front. So Mitchell hits Schout, and the former leader, Ben Schout, is now relegated to 5th place, and we have side by side between Nick and Matthew Hollander, and it's gonna be Hollander taking that Wonder Bread car into podium positions. But in oval racing we don't have podiums, so it's just gonna be a 3rd place. But still some great racing and still some close racing as well, and I think Nick's trying to get back into it, and I think, oh no!
Oh, that was a nice attempt. He tried to put the nose down in there, but just a little bit too quick. That may have been a little bit of extra, let's call it bravado, that could have been brought on by some of what he's been drinking.
Yes, there might have been some excess machismo in there. Oh, and we have a hit as well, and that's the number 4 round of Aaron Edwards.
And making it good with just another hit. Is he gonna... Oh, one more? Nope. Come on, bring it back straight. Come on, Aaron, you got this. There you go. Back into it. Aaron Edwards looking like he's, he's actually 5 laps down now. Back into the wall. Ooh. But Hey, he's putting some nice art on the track with those spinning rear wheels.
Yeah, that looks like me trying to navigate either English grammar or my stairs at home at 4 a.m. after a similar night.
Well, yeah, most people's stairs are a challenge after a night of drinking and racing. Oh, this is a beautiful wall ride. I don't think Tony Hawk could have done that any better. Beautiful landing. Sticks the landing. Nice job. Oh, and it looks like we have the Wonder Bread car with Matt Hollander trying to get his way back into the pits. Why is Matthew coming into the pits here? Is he looking for did he get tires before or no?
I think he heard that it was happy hour.
Oh, that must be. But you're not allowed to drink while you are having your car serviced. Now, you can get your car serviced, and then there we go. Yep, looks like he's getting tires. You can have your car serviced and then pull just briefly forward and then drink and then take off again. That is one of the strategies some of the racers will use here. Is they'll take that momentary just little stutter forward, and maybe I should say stutter forward, and then take their drink.
Oh, and we have Ben.
This is a nice pass. Ben's making a nice pass on Kip. Gets around to him. Right.
Crossover.
Oh, it's going to be an over-under here. Oh, holding the inside, getting back to... no, and we've got a little bit of a pit maneuver. You know, we teach that in police driving training, but they really shouldn't be doing it here.
No, and Ben Shout got turned around by Kip Mitchell. And would you think that Kip would maybe have a promising career in one of those chase scenarios?
As the villain, yes, as he was the one who got spun around, for sure.
Yeah, and we have a caution again.
Yep, full course yellow one more time. Looks like the caution flag is out. Gonna collect the field. As looks like, that's Aaron Edwards is trying to figure out which way the track goes. The car may be more than just painted with Miller Genuine Draft. The car may be also consuming Miller Genuine Draft.
I think it might be filled with Miller Genuine Draft. That's why he's in such a hurry. Poor Aaron Edwards is trying to drink his way so he can breathe again.
That's what it is. He's trying to find the porta potty somewhere outside of turn 4, I think.
Yeah, that would be my first goal here as well, and doing a bit of ballet as well. I think that's the Nutcracker third episode of it.
Sounds like it,
Yeah. So, yeah, go on. You first.
Oh, I was going to say, it looked like we were about to have an interesting meeting of the, I would say minds, but that would have been head-to-head. This would be head-to-tail, so I don't know what to call that. But fortunately, it didn't happen. Now we have Aaron going backwards around the track. He really is making for a wonderful show tonight. I'm thoroughly enjoying. Oh no! Oh, way to thread the needle there. Matthew Hollander putting it up right inside with mere millimeters, or 16ths, 30 seconds of an inch to get around there. Oh, and then spins it around. Nope.
Yeah, I think that was Ben Shout getting spun around, so a little bit of a helper maybe with the brakes. Of course, the brakes in these cars, NASCARs from 1987, aren't very strong. I like to call them, we have various styles of cheese. Yeah, an afterthought. We have various styles of cheese here in Europe, and I think that's maybe Emmental. It's not quite Emmental. I think it's more Edam, because Emmental is too strong for these brakes.
Yeah, it needs to be. Could be a good soft brie. I'm sure that's what the pedal feels like. A nice baked brie.
Yes. Yes, I don't like brie at all. It's one of those things that people with a vaguely French accent do while drinking a nice wine, not eating wine, drinking wine and having some brie off a nice plate in their apartment at Paris.
In Paris, yes, in Paris.
Yes.
Of course. So.
Or Lyon.
Or Lyon, yes, and Lyon. Yeah, make sure you drop half the word. Sorry, my French friends. I have several friends who are in France and are French. They make fun of the way I speak French, so I think maybe I can make a little fun of just the French accent in general.
Yes, it's a wonderful language. I actually tried studying French once. Back in high school, I picked French as my fourth language, and I was trying to think, okay, I've covered, well, Finnish, of course, being the first one. Then you start learning English, and then I picked German, and we get mandatory Swedish from 7th grade onwards as well. I don't know why, because there is a minority of Swedish people living here, blah, blah, blah. We get mandatory Swedish. It's a big thing.
It's probably for those cruises that you take, the drinking cruises.
That could very well be, and that's another story. And we'll be heading to green in half lap, so I'll finish this quickly. Anyway, I went to my first French class. I walked out after they gave me a sentence to read, and I butchered it completely, because apparently you're supposed to skip half the sentence. So since then, French has been a no-go for me, or non-pong.
There you go. See, you did remember some. And you're showing off. I'm only good with 3 languages. I also had French in high school. Here we come for the restart. That was only my 3rd language. Oh, nice restart. What do we got? Oh my God. And the 86 is coming around, trying to block the inside. Oh, no. Up into the wall. Oh, that's tough. That is so tough. Michael Bolton up into the wall.
And we got the 26 into the wall as well as the Wonder Bread, and Aaron Edwards make contact, and we are heading into turn number 3, and that's the Wonder Bread around as well as Ben Shout. So it's time to shout. It's both Ben and Hollander who have been making contact, and Matthew Hollander might be maybe wishing he was back in Holland having some of that wonderful atom right now, but he's trying to race his way back in there as these guys are now finding their way around with Kip Mitchell in the lead and Nick Balso in 2nd place, and he is in the lead lap as well, and we have Aaron Edwards once again getting contact, and oh, that's the Wonder Bread. That's Hollander, and he's upside down.
Oh, he's
and
on the roof, and he flips it back over. Ah, he gets back, gets the right side down, spins it around, comes around. Let's see if there's, oh, there may have been some waving going on there. I'm not sure how many fingers were used, but there was probably waving going on as he went by.
I'm going for first, says Matthew Hollander. Something along those lines, maybe.
Yeah, it had to be something like that.
Yes. And meanwhile, back in the lead of this race, we do have Kip Mitchell, and I think you'll be pleased, Michael, about the man who is in 2nd place.
Looks like 2nd place is, I think I called it, Nick Ball's ball. Coming,
it's a spin.
Just as he spins. Okay, I'm not talking about Nick the rest of the night, and he's going to finish 1st or 2nd. I will not mention a single word about Nick, but watch, he's going to work it. Bolton. He's going to go all the way from... there goes Bolton around. Bolton was trying to come back after that crash a few laps ago, making some of those wall rides coming around there, trying to get back up. Looks like he's going to go back out to the wall here as we move on. There we go. Several wall riders. We've got number 9 coming. Oh, and another full course yellow.
That's interesting because it's very late into the race. We just have under 7 minutes on the clock, and I was just thinking that it's gonna be interesting if Michael Bolton is like 16 seconds behind with only 7 minutes to go, because we know he's been the fastest race car around the track today. He's perfected the wall ride strategy, but it would have been curious to see if he had enough time left on the clock to actually make it back to the lead. But now we have the field frozen, we have the yellow flag, and we are getting primed for what might just be, well, not quite a green-white checkered, but certainly pretty close to it.
Pretty close to that, but also taking a look at our times, our fastest lap, if I am reading it correctly, looks like it's Aaron Edwards with a 20.330. So not only has he been entertaining going backwards and riding the wall, but right there he goes, riding the wall again. Personally, if we had like driver of the day, for me right now, it's Aaron, because he has really been wonderfully entertaining through this entire race.
he has been, and he's getting a lot of screen time as well. I'm sure the sponsors will be happy about that one. And pulling right back into the leading queue, only 9 laps behind. I think he had the fastest lap early on in this race. He had the 20.3. We talked about it early on in the race, like 5 minutes in or so, about how he was faster than even Michael Bolton in qualifying. But since then, it's been going a little bit downhill for him. Maybe, you know, maybe past the peak of optimal experience. Either way, he is still at least out there on the track having fun, and that's the most important thing. That is what matters. Now, Kip Mitchell, Nick Bosbaugh, Matthew Hollander. Those are the 3 drivers in the top 3. Then we have Michael Bolton and Ben Schout as well on the lead lap. So it's going to be between those 5 realistically here for the race win. I'm not going to even ask you for your pick, because that's going to be basically throwing one of these poor drivers under the bus, the way commentators' curses work.
Yeah,
but
the commentators' curse will take over on that. So instead,
I'm going to ask you, what is going to be the gap between the first and second?
I'm going to guess the gap is going to be about a bumper. And I'm not sure which car, first or second, is going to be facing the correct direction.
Oh, that would be interesting. That would be very interesting indeed. So somebody maybe wall riding their way past in the last corner, then promptly spinning around on the main straight and just reversing, edging out the guy in the second place. That would be, actually, that would be peak 4 Drinks Friday, now that I think of it.
Yeah, not to give anything away, but that has happened before. So I think if we go back and watch the previous 4 Drink Friday that I think was at Daytona, at least the previous oval 4 Drink Friday was at Daytona, and that is actually what happened. Somebody did cross backwards. I don't remember if it was first and second or second and third, but there was somebody crossing backwards, and the gap was basically the thickness of the paint.
Oh no, that does sound like some good, exciting times, that's for sure. Maybe not very good for your heart, but certainly very good for our viewing experience, as the lights are out. And that means last orders, please. No, that means we're actually getting ready to finish this race with 3 minutes to go, and that will be with quick mats around 9 laps around USA Speedway, with roughly over 20-second lap. And Kip Mitchell, he'll be getting underway. Nick Bosbaugh giving him a lot of room actually on the restart. And here they go, heading into turn number 1. It's going to be Matthew Hollander on the inside, and it's going to be on the outside Aaron Edwards, multiple laps down, again making himself seen, utilizing that wall ride strategy and actually passing the whole train of cars, and once again going to the wall. So
as Matthew Hollander goes around.
And Ben
Matthew
Schout
Hollander goes around along with Ben Schout. Oh, this looks like a really tough. So, are we going to race backwards for a moment here? I don't know. I promised I wouldn't mention his name, so let's get him going again and see what happens as he works his way backwards. And looks like Aaron Edwards is coming back around, still wall riding. How many laps do we think Aaron's going to make up here?
I'm not sure, maybe 1 or 2. Either way, he just demolished the fastest lap with a 20.275. So he mentioned during that last caution, he was knocking back a tall frosty one, and looks like that helped him. Meanwhile, for the lead, we have Kip Mitchell, and alongside him is Nick Bosbaugh, who is 1 lap behind, and 10 behind is Michael Bolton, who is fighting Kip Mitchell for the lead. So we have the leaders here in the same pictures. It is not over yet, not by a long shot. 1:30 left on the clock, 2/10 left on the racetrack. That is what Michael Bolton has to make up. And I think Kip Mitchell may have learned a lesson or 2 from earlier.
He may have learned. Looks like he's trying to stay away from the wall riding, just trying to make good, clean laps to push it through to the end. But look at, we've got an over-under here situation. Is he going to pull through? It looks like he pulls through beautifully. Michael Bolton pulling well into the lead, almost over half a second here. Can he hold it? We've got only 53 seconds left in this race. That's going to be 2, maybe 3 laps. Let's see how this works out here. But, oh, he's pulling out. Looks like he's going to pull it out over a second now. Oh, this is going to be an interesting finish. Can Kip pull this out? Do you think Kip has it in him to pull the car back up to where Bolton is? Bolton is on a shot.
Yeah, I think Kip is one of those guys who might be taking the conservative strategy here in that he's just trying to keep it all together. Unfortunately, that doesn't translate necessarily to pace, as it often doesn't. And with 20 seconds left, I think it's Michael Bolton's to lose at this moment in time, to Aaron Edwards making a hairy move around the outside. But yeah, Michael Bolton might be reaching the crescendo. It's not time for Captain Jack Sparrow. It is time for Michael Bolton, as he is taking the white flag and heading for the last lap here. So Michael Bolton, after all he's suffered, after all his calamities with 10 minutes to go, he was nowhere, 16 seconds behind. Then one caution and one start line crash later, and Michael Bolton is in turn number 1. And he will be winning the 4 Drinks Friday here at USA International Speedway. It is a nice Friday for him. It's a 4-drink Friday, and he's gonna take a 5th on the victory lane and getting promptly crashed as a result of it, courtesy of Kip Mitchell, who came home in 2nd place, just in front of Ben Shout.
A celebratory crash at the finish. So it didn't come out as I thought. I was certain someone was finishing backwards, nose to nose, but looks like we had an almost normal finish there. That was quite a pull that Michael Bolton made. He started off with that over-under. Kip was doing a great job. Kip Mitchell had the car set up beautifully, just locked in. But I think Michael Bolton figured something out and just made that over-under and pulled away, not to be seen again.
Yep, it was great job by him and a great race. And we saw the fireworks on the sky, and we saw some fireworks on the track as well for the Rings Friday. It delivered too. It delivered like the 4 a.m. kebab will deliver, or a 4 a.m. pizza for that matter. Those are, of course, a good part of any healthy weekend.
Or for our German fans, a döner.
Yes, a döner kebab is actually a thing, a döner in Finland too. We just call it kebab because I don't know why, it's the same stuff.
Yeah, we have a lot of Turkish folks in Germany, and some of my favorite restaurants are Turkish restaurants. When I'm back in Germany, one of the first things I do before I grab a beer, before I grab a bratwurst, I grab a döner.
Yes, they are a staple. They're so good for the weekend. Like, it's nothing goes better than a slightly tipsy state and a good döner.
And you have to make sure you've got beer, just like my Momeyer here, trying to make his combination wall ride drift in his victory lap, not victory laps, in his celebratory laps here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say it right again. I'm gonna petition for him to be called John Moomeyer from here on out, just because of that livery. Because, I mean, come on, it's right there.
It's right there. It's the easy joke, but it's a good joke. I like that one. That one works really well. I think you're right. We should definitely go for that.
Yeah. Instead of Captain Jack Sparrow and other singing references with our winner of the race, who is, of course, as we go to the results, Michael Bolton, ahead of Kip Mitchell in the 2nd place, 3.6 seconds behind. And it's Ben Shout in P number 3 and Matthew Hollander 4th. Nick Bolsock in 5th. Then it's John Moomeyer. John Moomeyer. Then it's Aaron Edwards, Corey Lotfellow, and Michael Ost, who never did start the race. And I think it's an opportune time for us to keep to the commercials before our interviews for today, unless I'm much mistaken, which I might be.
This is iRacing, the world's premier online racing game. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat to experience today's newest form of competitive motorsport, virtual racing, all from your home PC. Race virtually in endorsed series from NASCAR, IndyCar, IMSA, the World of Outlaws, Aussie Supercars and more. Take on legendary circuits like Daytona, Silverstone, and the Nürburgring. Join iRacing's global online racing community and get on track today at iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Four Drinks Friday here. That was certainly a nice break we had, but now it's time for our driver interviews for the day. And first and foremost, we will be chatting to our race winner, who is, of course, Mr. Michael Bolton. Now, Michael, I got to ask you, first and foremost, congratulations for the victory, and second, you were the first one to discover that wall riding strategy in qualifying. Did you always have that one in your back pocket, or was it more of an ace up your sleeve?
That's a great question. Well, yeah, it was a super fun race as always. I actually have never done that before because we've never had this incredible damage healing model. So I was doing some laps, decided I would try it out, and I thought with qualifying you wouldn't be allowed to do that with the 0x's or the contact points, but was able to get pole that way. And then halfway through, as you see, I don't know if you guys could see when Hollander threw a black flag for me. He said no more of that. So unless you're trying to catch up. So that's what I did.
Okay, so our hypothesis in the commentary booth was for once correct that you're not allowed to wall ride unless you're catching up, but it was still a very interesting race with cars sometimes on their side, sometimes on the roof, sometimes spinning around. And with less than 10 minutes to go, you were 16 seconds behind the lead. How relieved were you when that final competition caution came out?
You know, the whole race, I tried to stay as clean as possible and try to stay out of these events here. But for the most part, as soon as I knew that I was taken out from one of the restarts, I decided to catch up a little bit on the wall, and then obviously race as cleanly and as fairly as possible, because there's no fun to be a cheater and to just drive around in circles. Even though it was a lot of fun, I thought more people were going to catch on to it and wanting to do it, but I think it happened for a couple of laps and then decided that it wasn't going to be a good entertainment for the people watching at home.
Oh yes, I think both of our viewers were still plenty entertained by what happened out there on the track. No, I suppose we had more. Michael, finally, before we let you go, one more question. What was your pit stop strategy, so to speak, today? Did you knock all four down right from the get-go, or was it more of a balanced approach?
So pit stop strategy, as well as drinking strategy, of course, was trying to maybe do a one stop and then drink under caution. My other idea was that if I was going to be wall riding the whole time, I would figure that would kill my tires even quicker, which I think it did. But the pace was there. So when I came in for the new tires, I was very extra careful with them. And yeah, honestly, every Friday, last Friday of the month is always so much fun with these guys. And I got to give a shout out to Forge Drink Friday and the people that put this on, and to GSRC. And thank you guys for commentating and letting us do this.
Okay, thank you very much, Jack Johnson, and congratulations for your victory. Now go enjoy it.
Thank you, buddy. Take care.
You too. And next up, we have our second place finisher ready for the interview, and he is going to be met by Michael Johnson.
So, Kip, watching you go through the end of the race there, how heartbreaking was it when Bolton pulled that over-under right at the end and just seemed to drive away from you?
He definitely had way more tires. I was trying to keep the front end on the track, and I had nothing left to give.
Yeah, you were doing a great job through the race. You had some beautiful timing. You were able to duck into the pit just prior to that first competition caution. Was it timing to get in there or just luck?
That was just pure luck on that. I couldn't have pulled that off any better.
Yeah, your timing entering, I swear, you went past the cones, and it was like Matthew Hollander was waiting for you to pass the cone so he could push the button for that full course. That was just beautiful.
Yeah, I was coming to stop for the box, and I look up, and I'm like, oh, it's yellow. I'm like, that's perfect. That's exactly what I need, exactly right now.
So, were you channeling your inner Tony Hawk through some of those wall rides? Because there were a couple of them where you came off, landed perfectly. The car didn't look like it even bounced. You just like hit it like a skateboard and went up the ramp and did an ollie on the other side.
Oh, that's going back to, all my years of practicing on the skateboard and trying to do the best.
Well, apparently those years on the skateboard really made a difference for you. Looks like it translates into 80s era NASCAR pretty well. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Oh, just all the boys at GMS, and that's about it.
Cool. Well, congratulations, Kip. Great race. It was a lot of fun watching you. We hope to see you again for the next For Drink Fridays.
Yep, I should be able to make it. I don't think I have any in real life racing to do.
Well, looks like we've got one more interview. I think we have Ben Shout here, who will be talking with Ozzy.
Yes, Ben Shout, congratulations for a great race. That was a P number 3 for you. Unfortunately, in ovals, we don't have podiums, but I'm sure you can still enjoy that.
Oh, absolutely. This is oval is not really my forte. It's not something I do much here because I like to be able to turn right, not just left on purpose. But yeah, it was a good time and a lot of luck out there for me tonight.
So you mentioned that you don't do much oval, but what was your taste of this event? 1987 NASCAR at USA International Speedway. It's full of concrete. It's a fairly short track, and you also had to see some alternative strategies. Did you try any of that wall ride stuff?
I did once, but I'm pretty sure that I was doing it wrong because it looked like those other guys were sort of scraping along the wall. But when I'd get up to the wall, it'd sort of turn the car about 90 degrees, and the tires were basically on the wall. And I don't think that was quite as fast as the other guys were doing that.
Yeah, that you might be onto something there. You might be onto something that the car is at its fastest when all 4 wheels are on the ground. Try telling that to some rally drivers. But either way, Ben, it was a great oval race for you, and I'm sure a lot of memories to keep going forward. So I could ask you too, what was your strategy approaching the 4 Drinks Friday? Knock them all back right from the get-go, or did you also balance it out throughout the race?
Well, I pre-gamed a little bit, try to get ahead of the whole thing since, with always turning left, I figured I'd be leaning to the left, and I didn't want to get dizzy and fall over without a good reason. So I tried to take care of that pretty early on.
Looks like that worked out for you with a nice P number 3 finish, and you'll be heading on to the next round with a smile on your face. Well, Ben Shout, any shout-outs you would like to send? Feel free to do so.
Well, I absolutely got to thank Chicken Pit for really putting this whole thing together. And, Motorcraft put together a car that went straight really, really well. So I got to thank them for that as well.
Thank you, Ben, and congratulations once more.
Thanks, guys.
So there's Ben Shout, and that also concludes our interview segment as well as the 4 Rounds Friday. It is almost a Saturday now, but not quite, even if it's 6 a.m. here in Finland, so I'm kind of ahead of all you guys. But before we let you go, we gotta thank all our partners, of course. First and foremost, Sunset Mortgage. Don't put your money in the bank, be the bank. Check them out today at sunsetcash.net. As well as Octavio Tequila. I'm sure you're all thirsty, so celebrate now for a great tasting tequila. Go to octaviotequila.com and purchase today. And finally, Century Financial Consultants, making the rest of your life the best of your life. You can check out their website at centuryretire.com. Thanks to companies that provide the software and hardware for our broadcast listed here on your screen. Additional thanks to June Lalonde, who provides our wonderful music. See the screen for how to find more of her great work. thanks to the team today, Michael, Zach, and Dougie. You can find more info about GSRC at globalsimracingchannel.com or through our social media listed on the screen. Please, please, please give us a follow. Our social media is funny, we swear. Also, please rep the Red brand and check out our merchandise store at simracingmerch.com/GSRC. We keep a link in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, so you don't miss a moment here on GSRC, and as all the cool kids say, ring that bell. Next time, the last Friday of the month. And we also have upcoming races for other series listed on the screen, so check those out and mark them down on your calendar so you don't miss one race. And until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.